This is Corn Wars.
Okay, I think we're ready to move. Now nothing works.
Corn Wars, so we'll be duking it out. That's right. So we're kind of down until we figure out what's going on here.
I guess it's what you say, it's in your blood.
Kind of reality check.
In the high plains of eastern Colorado,
I didn't really decide to be a farmer so much as I was kind of born into it. I grew up basically 30 miles from town and anybody or anything, so I grew up with tractors as friends. Drifted into it like a life of drugs, I guess. You know, you just start out when you're young and there you are. You're a lifer. My dad started farming, well, same deal. He was 5 years old and he's out behind a horse plowing back in the day. He was born in '28, so they were doing stuff the old way. And yeah, he's been doing it his whole life, and yeah, what the I guess I can do it for my whole life. Seems like a good choice. I could do worse things. My name is Mike Rother. We're back in Arapahoe, Colorado. It's a hard thing to explain to people who don't understand. You know, you could say I'm a farmer, you could say I'm a rancher, you could say a lot of different things. I'm a farmer at heart, and that encompasses so many other things. You know, the hats we wear just normally have decal Pioneer. We're business managers, money managers, agronomists, public relations people. It's no different than anybody else's. That's what I am, I'm a farmer. You guys are just in time to see what corn looks like at this stage. It just looks like corn. It's nothing special, but it's my corn. That makes it special. Steve's my little pit bull. He don't stop for nothing. He's bad. Steve's worked for me for probably 7 years now, 8 years. Steve's in charge of any equipment on the farm that he runs. Anything that I break, he fixes. Steve's in charge of irrigation management, fertility timing on our high production corn. He's good at manufacturing things, making things, planter attachments. Steve's a welder, Steve's a good fabricator, just everything. Steve is really, I mean, anything Steve wants to do wherever he wants to go, he's good at it. So, you know, I don't have a problem letting Steve do anything on the farm. Any high yields we get, any success we have is directly attributed to Steve, much more so than me. And I'm very glad to have Steve. When Steve came to work for me, I was trying to do everything myself and knew that wasn't working. Steve came to work for me. I don't know how I lucked into getting Steve, but there was another outfit here in the area who was trying to hire Steve as well, and offered Steve a job after he'd been working for me for 2 days, I think. And I happened to overhear the conversation. Steve said that, you know, I'd love to come work for you, but they need me here. And Steve was right, I need him here. And I'm very, very glad. The loyalty Steve's shown me over the years is, you can't buy that. And Steve has a good vision for what he wants to get done and then has the ability to go do it. And that's not something that's a common thing for a lot of guys. So execution is key, and Steve has that ability. He's a finisher. Steve was checking fertilizer pumps here just a little bit ago, but it's been so wet that that's been kind of a non-starter for a while. We've been trying to fight too much rain to get our fertility on that we would normally not have a problem getting on. But Steve, he'll find a way, he'll get her done. We've probably had somewhere north of 20 inches for the year since March, and that's very uncommon for us. Normally we'll be between 15 and 17 inches for the year, so to have that in a 6-month period, that's pretty unusual. It's really slowed down our normal workflow. We have fallow acres that we have to summer fallow so that we can get back to wheat. You're just banking moisture to grow the next wheat crop, and we haven't been able to take care of those fallow acres because it's so wet, and that's horrible. It makes for unsightly fields. It's going to make for problems this fall when we're trying to plant wheat. And it makes for unhappy neighbors sometimes because now you have big weeds that could blow on them. And you know, we all try to be good neighbors and everybody understands, but it's still something that you don't want to have happen. It's not that our edges of fields are challenges, they're just ugly. You know, the guys back east that you see perfectly mown, sod looking grass, and that's just their normal field, and then giant 13-foot tall corn next to it. That's bad. But we can't do that here. We have weeds along the edge of our field, and the only thing we can kill them with is gramoxone. And gramoxone, it burns things. It makes things brown and crunchy and crispy. So the edges of our fields are ugly, but oh well, that's all right. Like I said, I'm excited to see how much I'm doing wrong. Let the hate flow.
Meanwhile, in Illinois, while pockets of the Corn Belt have been in near drought conditions, Mother Nature has other plans for the Lupkis farm this year. But before he can check on the status of his crops, he's got some hungry mouths to feed.
Born and raised farm kid, loved farming from, a little kid, loved the work, loved to do it. But I was raised on a dairy farm, which gave me absolutely no life. You worked around the clock and wasn't much time for any fun. So when I was a young man, actually, it was my dad's operation. The barn burnt. I thought that was the best thing that ever happened. Another day in life. Struggles. This American farmer.
And along with the heavy rains, she's brought with her another unwanted visitor.
We're tissue sampling soybeans. We're doing sap testing and regular tissue sampling, so we're taking different leaves for the different tests. There's new and old leaves for the sap. I'm taking the older ones. Melissa's getting the younger ones. It gives us nutrient levels and loads so we can adjust our fertility. The beans are getting big enough now. There's not quite as much we can do with it, but we can still make possibly a foliar application with a helicopter, or if I put something on with a pivot. I have a pivot out here. Yeah, we do the same thing with the corn. Usually when I'm out here, we kind of check, look things over, see what stage the beans are at, which these are probably R2, between R1 and R2.
I do 2 tests while he does 1.
It's because that's all she'll let me do.
Because I want it done right.
This has got some insect pressure. We've already sprayed 2 or 3 times for it, but these little guys here, called a Jap beetle, they cause a lot of damage. They eat and they eat and they eat, and that's all they do. Well, they do something else, but I won't mention that. Something else too. They're happy. They're eating and just going at it, usually at the same time. The one contest dryland field I've got where we're going to go where it's really muddy is all beat to crap with the rain and the wind. Broke a lot of tops out. It don't look good. I'm not happy with it. It's still going to be good corn, but it's not going to be as good as what we wanted, It's contest dry land, which I wasn't sure how I'd do in that anyway. The irrigated stuff still looks pretty good, but that field I think I'm gonna kind of quit spending money on it. So at some point you got to just say, well, that one didn't work out. Get your 2 done, or you're talking all the time, not getting your work done. Last week we had a total of around 9 inches, I think. We had 6 inches one night that just knocked a lot of stuff down, broke some corn off, washed everybody's roads and driveways out. And 2 nights before that we'd had 2.5 inches, so it was pretty well saturated anyway, so everything kind of ran off and it just made a mess. Actually, it's getting to be fungicide time for the corn, and there's some fields we can't get through with our rig, and we'll probably have to have a aerial applicator probably, because I think it'll be too muddy to get over. We've got a lot of obstacles. it's getting to be fungicide time for the corn, and there's some fields we can't get through with our rig. I think it'll be too muddy to get over. I hate to tell you this, but I already did one route this morning with no fuel. I'm gonna have to pull back in there and get a little fuel. Well, this is what I call the 40, and it'd be competition dry land, but like I said, I don't think we're gonna probably continue with it. It's probably just gonna be corn now.
There's stupid little brown mushrooms over there, and those are always good. That's a good sign. What's that flag say?
And like I said, the inconsistency of that. This is brown silk mostly, and this is still pollinating blister.
Yeah, I had a bit of a planter issue for a minute. We don't know why. Yeah. It was being a pain in the this is 1198, right?
1197.
Shovel!
We only have one shovel.
Yeah, it's our favorite shovel.
Everybody have to get their pocket knives out.
If you want to break something, break it on the other guys' stuff, on the field standard.
Okay.
Ready? Yes, sir. Exit view. Yep. We got two. We dual place our dry, or we can. Generally our dry product goes at a different depth than we have liquid also. And we can run 2 liquid products if we want to. This year we did not. And then we're running in furrow with the planter here. We're not running 2x2 fertility on this field. It doesn't work running 2x2 fertility on a strip till environment. It just, our dirt gums up and it's just a wreck. So we can give it a shot and see how it works. I don't know.
But it works on no-till conditions.
Right. That's what we call a 2x2. We're just splitting the twin rows. So really it's like a 3x4. And I'm excited because Steve won't tell me what he thinks it's going to make.
It's still too early, Mike.
Historically, when we're doing well, we're in that 300 range.
320.
The highest yield that Rother Farms has done is 324. We did have a confirmed yield on our test plot 2 years ago at 36,000 that went 329. I would say probably our biggest limiting factor would actually be our dirt. It fights us, it likes to be, it doesn't want to turn loose in nutrients the way I would like it to. You know, we have very greedy dirt. One of the things that we've done in the past is try to ban the fertility to make it more available, try to overwhelm that soil. Our field, or our farm average is probably 7, 8 to 8, depending on where you are. This field, one of the reasons it's done well is it's actually much lower pH than our standard farm. Don't ask me why it is, but it is. Well, one of the things that I'm excited about on this one is it's trying to throw a second ear on most of these plants in this zone where we are. One of the biggest challenges is standing here in front of you, just me. You know, pulling the trigger and doing it. That's a hard thing to do sometimes. Really what we need is some phos bugs. Oh, the fight started.
So, I mean, right where we walked in right there, I didn't see quite as much breaking, but I got a gooseneck one right there, and there's a top. And as you get through it, if you look down through there, there's quite a few tops broke out. And as you walk it, they just start coming in on you. She thought walking this morning that there was less green snap. I didn't actually go out and count them to see, but just kind of walking it, she kind of thought there was more, and I'm not sure why that would be, if you just had a healthier, stronger stalk or what it would be. But usually we can see a little more root mass and you know, girth of the stalk and all that kind of stuff. In the treated corn, yeah. It would appear that the greener leaves go a little, at least one leaf farther down. It looks to me like the actual plant itself is a little greener down through here on the treated side. You know, if you look against this stalk and then against this stalk, to me it just This one looks a little greener than that one.
This segment brought to you in part by AgriGold.
Last year, we were first in Illinois in all divisions at 315 bushel. I thought we could do better. This year, we're on a quest for 400 bushel corn. Push the envelope. Do things you haven't done before. Try new things, do yield checks and research. At the end of the season, running the combine, if you see that monitor pushing over 300 and pumping good corn out, you know you've done your job. There was this very nice film crew decided to film the ears coming out on this corn, and they put a GoPro out here in the field, and they drove a fence post right through the drip line, and that don't work. So now we're attempting a repair. Well, this is part of the drip system on this field, which waters the crop from underneath the ground. It's an irrigation system. Unlike the top surface applied, this is applied through the soil. And we also apply nutrients through here. It's just like a little plumbing fix. Okay, yeah, screw that out. So tight. You're ready to bury the dead. That should be a satisfactory fix. Another day in life. Struggles. American farmer. Digging holes. Yeah, this is probably the field I'm the most excited about. Everything is really green, really healthy, strong stalks, a lot of consistency, very little disease yet. So I think got a good stand, got a lot of potential here. We watch a lot of these high yield guys and see that there are possibilities there. You know, why can't I do it? You know, our weather is different and we have different challenges, but you know, I might as well try it too, you know, give it a shot anyway. Melissa's been real good about researching a lot of different things and figuring things out. It makes a big difference because it is, when you go on this high yield path, you don't just say I'm gonna do it and just walk out to the planter. I mean, there's a lot of research, takes a lot of time, it takes a dedication. You know, you gotta wanna do it. If you don't, you're not gonna succeed. It has to be something you wanna do. Well, I don't give up. I never give up.
Well, when prices are better, it's a lot easier to do what you know is right, you know, because it pays, it makes money to do it. When you're losing money, you know you're losing money with this crop. You can either spend more money to hopefully lose less money, but you know you spent more money, screw it. Just we're gonna lose what we lost, and what happens, happens. So, I don't know if that's right or wrong. Well, I know this year it was wrong, but you never know that ahead of time. It's horrible. But oh well, live and learn. We'll make more mistakes, don't worry. There will be plenty more peril and challenges. There's going to be a lot of good corn in our area. There's dryland corn that's going to be better than, I dare say better than ever. There's going to be a lot of guys break their personal records. There's probably going to be state records broken, or at least regional records broken this year for dryland. I will not be one of those guys. We don't shoot for high yields on our dryland because it's dryland. It's either going to die or make 50 bushel, and that's it. But irrigated corn, there's going to be a lot of good irrigated corn. A lot of good irrigated corn. There's going to be guys, there's going to be a lot of guys 280, I would guess 290. I don't know where we will be across the farm. I would say we'd probably be 275 anyway across the irrigated farm, but I could be wrong. You know, there's a lot of room for that to back up on me. I would say on our contest field, I'm pretty confident saying we'll be over 300. I think we'll be over 325. I'm hoping to be somewhere in that 350. I'd love to be 400. That'd be bad, but I don't think I can say that. I thought I was at 400 a year or two ago, and yeah, I was way wrong, so I ain't gonna say that. I've been wrong. There's a lot of time for it to go wrong. When you see those clouds underneath clouds like that, that makes a fellow worry a little. Potential for hail in there, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We've got to keep the hail away. I mean, that's what happens in the high plains. You get hail, that's just what it is. But hopefully we can keep missing it on at least our contest field. It would be better if we missed it on all of it, but I don't want to wish hail on my neighbors either. So I'll take my lumps. It's hard. Hail is hard. More rain. My biggest fear right now wouldn't be more rain. Rain, I mean, it's going to slow us down and it's going to suck, but you don't cuss rain. Not in eastern Colorado. You take it and you thank you. May I have another? Hail would be bad. You cricket? We were out spraying road ditches the other day. It's super exciting.
Road ditches.
Trying to keep stickers down. So you just strap a 40-gallon or 50-gallon sprayer or 30-gallon, whatever it is. And you just strap it in there with a pump and drive around and drive by the weeds. It's bad. It's gangster. High Plains drive-by. Die.
Yes. Fire, fire.
Yeah.
We'll give that to you guys for a souvenir.
Oh, thanks.
You can remember me by with that. See, remember that? Boy, that wasn't a good deal.